Hello and welcome to your practice today. Today's flow is called the Hero's Flow. And the Hero's Pose, also called Virasana, is my favorite pose to take seated meditation in. It allows for a little more mobility in the pelvis and greater lengthening of the spine. However, it does require pretty strong flexion in the knees. So we're going to spend the first part of the practice preparing the knees and the thighs for the pose. And then we'll end our practice in that seated Virasana shape. So you can take your yoga blocks and place them to the front short side of your mat. Take a blanket, lay it across the center of your mat as a cushion for your knees. And then we're going to start in tabletop pose, Barmanasana. Okay, so as you arrive in the tabletop pose, first just do a brief check in with your hands. Make sure that your hands are as wide as your shoulders or slightly wider. Shift the weight into your right knee, and you're going to send your left leg back with the ball of the left foot on the yoga mat. Reaching out through the crown of the head, and then just begin with some gentle calf pulsing. So press the left heel toward the back short side of your yoga mat, and then allow the heel to pulse forward. And then just take that a couple more times. I like to do these with a little bit of softness in the elbows. I find that makes it easier on the shoulders and a little gentler in the wrists. Last time or two. Allowing your left knee to meet the yoga mat. As the left knee meets the mat, shift into the left knee, send your right leg back, ball of the foot anchored into the mat. And then begin to pulse your right heel back and then forward. Nice deep, slow inhalation and exhalation. Okay, you're going to allow your right knee to come back down, meeting the mat. Knees about frontal hip bone distance apart. Breathe in, let your belly release down toward the floor, taking a cow tilt. Now, as you begin your exhale, we're going to start to bring the spine almost back into neutral. And then you're going to press the balls of the feet into the mat. And you're going to send your sitting bones back toward your heels. So you're just starting to increase the mobility across the knees, stretch out through the feet. And then we'll inhale, rise up, release the belly, cow tilt, lift through the heart. Exhale, almost passing just right through neutral, balls of the feet anchored, sitting bones moving toward heels. Rising up with the breath in, release the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, press the balls of the feet into the floor, sink sitting bones to heels. Two more times. Breathe in, rise up, table with cow tilt. Exhale, balls of the feet press in, sink the sitting bones toward your heels. One more time, breathing in, rise up, cow tilt. Exhale, balls of the feet press into the mat. Send the sitting bones toward the heels, and then inhale as you come up, tabletop. Release your belly down and lift up through your heart. This time, exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing into the balls of the feet, floating the kneecaps, and sending your sitting bones nice and high. And then here, begin to pedal out, walking out through the knees and through the feet. Last inhalation and exhalation. You're going to allow the weight to come into the left ball of the foot, taking the breath in to send your right heel up into downward facing dog split. So press into your hands and feel lightness as you lift your right heel up. We're going to step that right foot through to the right wrist. You're going to curl the knee in, step the foot through, and take the back knee down to the floor. So you can slide the blocks back just so that they're there in case you decide you want to use them, but we'll just come up so that we're on the front right thigh with the hands. So as you're breathing in, you're going to allow your hips to move down toward the floor. So just going to create some opening across the left hip and down through the thigh. And as you're exhaling, you're going to press into your front foot and your back knee. You're just going to back out of that a little bit. Just going to inhale and take the tailbone slightly down. Let the hips go down. Exhale, strong anchoring as you rise back up. And then inhale. Relax your shoulders and exhale. This time we're going to take an open low lunge twist. You're going to let your hips go down a bit. This left hand is going to end up going off of the mat, either with the block beneath the hand or the hand to the mat. You're going to heel toe your right toes open to the right a bit. Turn your right toes to the long side of the mat, right hand to right thigh, taking that nice open twist. So you might turn the belly to the right, but rotate the head to the left so that you end up looking down at your left hand. Another inhale. Nice deep exhale. Okay, and then moving everything back to the center. Landing that right foot there in the center. Slide the right hand down to the inside. So both hands to the inside. Step the right foot back. Now move the hands back into tabletop position. Lift your right knee just a bit so you can move your right foot off to the right. Send your left leg out in modified side plank position. So grounding into your right hand, left hand coming up to the hip. Staying here, floating the left leg up into knee down half moon position. Staying here or allowing the left knee to bend, maybe catching hold of the left hand to left ankle as you take a half bind here. Now, as you're here, press the left ankle into the left hand, creating a bow shape with the body. Breathe in. Deep breath out. Inhale, send the left knee back out. Let the left hand land on the hip. Exhale, left hand and left knee come to meet the floor. Sway out the hips. Landing there in the center, breathe in, tip your belly down to the floor, lift up through the heart, exhale, downward facing dog. Float the knees, sitting bones reaching high. Pedal out through your knees and out through your feet. Okay, let the weight come into the right ball of the foot. Breathe in, send your left heel high, downward facing dog split. On your next exhale, draw your left knee into the chest, step your left foot through, coming near the left wrist as the right knee comes down to the mat. Sliding the hands up onto your front left thigh. Now, as you're taking that breath in, you're going to let your hips move down, let your shoulders relax down, and you're just going to let the hips move toward the mat. And then you're going to exhale, press down, and you're going to let your body rise back up. Inhale, let the hips go down. Exhale, press and rise. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Now we're taking that open twist. So your right hand is going to come off the mat. It's either going to be on the block or on the floor. Heel toe the left toes to the left. Turn the left toes open to the left, palm to the thigh. Now as your belly rotates to the left, let your head rotate down so you're gazing down toward the right arm and hand. Nice full breath in. Okay, and a last full breath out. Now, as that left foot starts to heel toe back to the center, the left hand is going to come down to the inside of the left foot. The left leg is going to step back. Now, as you find the center, pick up your left knee and move your left foot off to the left, modified side plank. Reach out the right leg. Let your right hand come to your right hip. Stay here or float the right leg up, half moon shape. Stay here or allow your right knee to bend. Reach your right hand to your right ankle. As the hand meets the ankle, press the ankle into the hand, creating that shape of the bow. Full inhale. Full exhale. On your next inhalation, you're going to send your right leg back out. Right hand meets the hip momentarily. Exhale, right hand, right knee coming down, coming through the center and swaying your hips. As you come back to the center, breathe in, let your belly button tip down toward the floor, lift your heart, exhale, ground into the balls of the feet, downward facing dog. Breathing in, nice full inhalation, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Exhale, sigh it out. Breathe in, let your gaze come up to that space between your hands. Begin to step your feet forward, landing in the forward fold. Here's where those blocks may come in handy again. So you're going to place the hands either onto your block support or onto the floor. You're going to let your weight start shifting into your right foot, and you're going to send your left leg back behind you. Now be mindful of the pull across the right leg because you can always start with a partially bent right knee. Now as you exhale, both knees will be bending. The left knee is going to hook behind the right knee as you come down and take what I like to call a little curtsy squat. You're just going to do that a few times, creating mobility in the knees. You're going to inhale, send your left leg back out. And then as you're exhaling, you're going to curl back in. Let your hips come down. Breathe in, send your left leg back out. Exhale as your knees bend, taking that curtsy squat. Inhale, send your left leg back behind you. And exhale as the left foot comes down to the mat. Breathe in, root down into your feet. Take a halfway lift with your spinal column. And then as you're exhaling, fold your body into your legs. Second side. Ground into the left sole of the foot and send your right leg back behind you. Take a breath in. And then as you're exhaling, bend your right knee and your left. Take that curtsy squat. And then inhale, send your right leg back behind you. Exhale, bending both knees, taking the hips down just a bit. One more time, breathe in. And then exhale, both knees bend, right knee curls in behind the left. Inhale, send the right leg back behind you. And exhale, take the right foot down onto the mat. Breathe in, halfway lift with your spine. And then exhale as you fold into your legs. Inhale, generous bend of your knees. Sweep your arms out to the side. Extended mountain pose, prayer hands coming together and into the heart as you find the chair pose. Knees are bent, tops of the thigh bones rooting back, heart lifting toward your thumbs. Take another breath in, and then as you exhale, forward fold. Hands down, sitting bones reaching up. Breathe in, lift the belly, reach out through the crown, and then exhale as you bow into your legs. Inhale, bend your knees, and reverse. Sweep your arms. Exhale, prayer hands come together, chair pose again. Let your knees bend as you land here, tops of the thigh bones moving back, heart lifting toward your thumbs. Exhale, folding in, hands coming down, sitting bones reaching. Breathe in, lift your spine halfway. Now, this time as you're exhaling, you're going to fold your body in a bit and you're also going to bend your knees. So, as deeply as you can. So, maybe even going into more of like a squatting position. On your next exhale, send your hips back up to the sky. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Bend your knees. Sweep your arms out and up. Prayer hands connecting, chair pose. Bend the knees, pause momentarily, feel the expansiveness across the heart, soften your eyes. Exhale, folding in, hands coming down, sitting bones reaching high. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, as you're exhaling, you're bowing your body in and at the same time bending the knees, maybe allowing the heels to lift as you take that squat. On your next exhale, send your hips back up. Now we're going to repeat that half lift and squat position again. So inhale, lift the belly, reach out through the crown of your head, and then as you're exhaling, start to bow in at the same time, bend your knees into a squat shape. On the next exhale, send your hips back up. We're going to do that just one more time. So inhale, lift the belly, reach out through the crown of the head, and then exhale as you bow in, bend your knees, maybe let your heels float, and then exhale, sitting bones going back up. Take your breath in, lift one more time halfway, and then exhale as you step your feet back into downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, let your hips roll forward, come out into plank pose, keeping the knees elevated or modified plank. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower to the earth cobra as you breathe in. Roll the chest up and then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, another roll forward, breathe in, send the hips out, plank pose. Exhale, bending the elbows, lowering down. So you're curling up, tacking the tops of your feet down, breathing in and rising up. And then exhale, carrying you back to the downward facing dog. Just this sense of just inner stability and strength that you tap into as you guide the movement of your body in coordination with the movement of your breath. All right, we're going to take the knees down to the mat. You're going to separate the knees, bring the big toes together. We're going to see about sending the sitting bones now down toward the heels. And so the block is nearby, so you could create a little support for your forehead by taking your block right underneath of your forehead space or your stacked palms. Just want to allow those knees to be in that state of flexion here for about a minute. Okay, last round of inhale and exhale. Okay, and we're gonna rise the hips up, bring the knees back underneath of the hips. So we're gonna end up coming now into the Virasana pose. You're gonna want to have your strap nearby because we're gonna do the cow face arms while we're there. So I'm gonna turn out to face toward you. The black and the bolster will be how I will end up demoing this pose for just a little bit more comfort in the knee. You can always use a pillow instead of a bolster. So start standing, hips over knees. The block is going to go in this position where my hands are currently, will be where your feet are placed. So you're going to take the black, move the black back, hug the black with your feet. And then you could always come right down onto the black, but I like to take the bolster and go over. So straps within hands reach, right? Take the bolster over. Okay, and now I just have this really nice height for the pelvis, elongation up through the spine. I'm gonna have you take your strap and unwind it. We're gonna take the cow face arms first. So the buckles can go into your left hand, and you're gonna bring that strap so that it's behind your back. Okay, looping down. It's like in line with the center of the spine. Left arm reaches up, bend the elbow. Now you can, by the way, always stay right here, maybe connecting right hand to left elbow and just hold there. Otherwise, the right arm is going to open out to the side. You're going to take this right shoulder up toward your ear, rolling the shoulder back. Now, as that happens, the arm moves back, the elbow bends, and you catch hold of the bottom of the strap. Walk the hand up a bit on the strap and then draw those low front ribs into the body. If it bothers your shoulder at all, right shoulder, you can always release this. I cannot get my hands to touch, so I always use the strap, but if your hands are touching without over efforting, you can let the strap release. Feeling your eyes soften as your breath deepens. Slowly, we'll first let that right hand slide down the back. Let the right arm release nice and slow. Let the left arm come down, and just for a moment, still holding the strap, but just let your hands come down so you notice the difference. Okay, and then strap coming into the right hand. As you stretch your right arm up, let your strap dangle back behind your spine. Bend your right elbow. So one variation is to take your left hand to your right elbow and take the tricep stretch here. Otherwise, left arm is starting to open out to the side. You're going to roll your left shoulder up, swing the arm slightly back, and then allow your elbow to bend. So you're going to catch hold of the bottom part of the strap. Cow face, Gomukhasana arms. Nice deep breath in. Okay, and then after this next round, you slowly release your left hand down the back and then let it start to swing a little bit to the side. Starting to let your right arm also release, and then just nice and easy, let your strap come down. And you're going to turn your palms to face upward, placing the knuckles near the tops of your thighs. Letting your eyes just be real soft as you close them. Take another few deep rounds of breath. Join your hands at heart center in prayer. Bow your chin slightly in. The light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.